regardless of age or medical conditions. Our telemedicine platform now brings this virtually 100% effective solution right to your doorstep. Medication is good for 1 year, and there's free formula upgrades for those who need more potent results. New patients will receive 10 extra doses of ICP medication for free when you sign up for the treatment program. Call 800-896-3100. 800-896-3100. 800-896-3100. BostonMedicalGroup.com.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's great.
Try new Dayquil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for Kids 6 Plus. Use as directed.
Autumn is in the air, and like the leaves, prices are falling at Harbor Freight's parking lot sale this weekend. We've got tons of products on sale, like 3-ton jacks for under $100, 5,000-watt generators, $250 off, plus dual bevel miter saws at nearly half the price of the competition. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until 10/13/20.
Hi, it's Chris Seatons. In the heat of Southern California, businesses face the dual challenge of rising temperatures and power outages. That's why smart business owners turn to Duffy Power Services. With over 50 years of expertise in commercial generators, they ensure your operations stay on no matter the weather. From reliable installations to proactive maintenance, Duffy Power Services keep your business running smoothly. Visit DuffyPower.com today and see why they're the commercial generator experts in SoCal. That's DUTHIE Power.com. Duffy Power Services, powering your business forward.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
KNX FM and HD, Los Angeles.
This is Southern California's news.
And coming up, one man has died, 6 other inmates sent to the hospital at the Men's Central Jail in downtown L.A. Also, why a new neighbor set to move into the Antelope Valley has some people there angry and scared. And LA Fitness being sued by the Justice Department for discrimination. Those stories
Only on KNX News 9 FM.
It's 1 o'clock. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Christopher Cruz. It's a furious and chaotic flight from the onslaught of Hurricane Milton, now with winds just under Category 5 level and predicted to make landfall on Florida's Gulf Coast late tomorrow night. Chanel was visiting Orlando and made it home to Philadelphia.
Yeah, FEMA just sued everyone has to stay because their flights was on Wednesday, and now the airports are closed on Wednesday.
Governor Ron DeSantis is warning residents of his state to keep up their guard, even if they don't expect a direct hit in the hurricane.
This is not just an event about the west coast of Florida. That will be where the initial impacts are probably the most significant, but the impacts will not be limited there.
Gas Buddy is now saying about 17% of filling stations in Florida have no gas. Anger over the spread of storm and aid disinformation by President Donald Trump. Here's Tampa Mayor Jane Castor.
Please don't get political on this. This storm is going to affect everybody, and we are getting the help that we need from all of the different governmental officials.
Tampa and St. Petersburg could take a direct hit first time in a century. Vice President Kamala Harris today went after Trump for his false claims about FEMA.
It's profound, and it is the height of irresponsibility and, frankly, callousness.
Vice President Harris on ABC's The View.
And the idea that somebody would be playing political games for the sake of himself, but this is so consistent about Donald Trump.
And in the lead up to Election Day in less than a month.
If you really need to know how he thinks, since he doesn't do these kinds of interviews, watch his rallies. He spends full time engaged in grievance about what has happened to him.
Right.
He spends full time perpetuating lies and misinformation.
Piper, CBS News.
Republican vice presidential candidate Senator J.D. Vance was highly critical of something Harris said on The View.
They ask her one thing you would do differently from Joe Biden. You know what she says? I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
In a new book, author Bob Woodward says Trump has had as many as 7 private phone calls with Vladimir Putin since leaving office. Fordham University journalism professor and former CBS News Moscow bureau chief Beth Noble.
It's saying that he continued to have contacts with Russian President Vladimir Putin after Putin launched his war in Ukraine.
The book also says that Trump secretly sent the Russian president COVID-19 test machines in 2020. On Wall Street at the close, the Dow was up about 1/3 of 1%, S&P 500 up about 1%, NASDAQ up almost 1.5%. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. The parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Southern California News.
KNX News, 97.1 FM. And a very good afternoon to you. I'm Larry Perrell in for Rob Archer. Here's what's happening at 103. Well, people living in one part of the Antelope Valley worried about their safety after learning that a third sexually violent predator will be their new neighbor. Ellie Valdez reports on a judge's ruling.
Residents tried to fight having the so-called pillowcase rapist Christopher Hubbard released from a state mental hospital into their Juniper Hills neighborhood.
Just feeling sick right now. It's difficult to even think.
But a judge has ruled that's where he's going to go.
The women who live up there are terrified. It doesn't make any sense to place somebody and virtually imprison the entire community around them.
Mary Jeters lives in the area near Little Rock.
They won't be able to go out. Their grandkids will go out. They're going to have to watch their backs every day, every moment. They're going to have to arm themselves. They're going to have security cameras and lights, and it just isn't fair.
Hubbard convicted of raping about 40 women in their homes all across California, putting a pillowcase over their faces from the 70s to the 90s. He spent the last several decades in prison or state mental hospitals. Sexually violent predators aren't regular sex offenders. These guys and women are considered the worst of the worst and are more than likely to reoffend again. I'm Emily Valdez, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Firefighters and paramedics rushed to the men's central jail in downtown L.A. this morning after getting reports of possible drug overdoses. John Baird has details.
My understanding is the jail went into lockdown sometime after 8:30 this morning as authorities tried to figure out what the white powder was and transported the 6 inmates who were possibly in the hospital. One inmate was dead at the scene. Again, we don't know what the white powder was. We know the hazmat crew came out and dealt with it. They were actually in hazmat suits, spraying down the chairs that they used, the wheelchairs, to bring the inmates out, to transport them to the hospital. Calls came in about 8:40 a.m. this morning. Possible overdoses here at the men's central jail. We're going to hear more from the Sheriff's Department and the Fire Department around 2:30 this afternoon.
Right now, the 105, checking your drive on this Tuesday from the Simpson Automotive Group Traffic Center. Here's Brian Douglas.
57 north, still going to be slow right before Diamond Bar Boulevard as you make your way up to the 60. Now, we had a crash on the west 60 right at the 57. And that is cleared, but that kind of caught your attention. So north 57 is a little slower than usual. Your 60 west will be a little sluggish off the 71. Same thing for the south 57. It's gone, but still slowing. All right, 10 north. Keep in mind at Florence, you can't get off or on. Those off-ramps and on-ramps are blocked, although it does look like north 710 Florence eastbound. Looks like that off-ramp might be open, or they might be getting ready to open that one. You've got a right lane blocked in the area as well, including that collector lane, so that's why 710 north from the 105 is going to be a difficult drive. We had some problems on the 405 north here in Mission Hills just before Rinaldi. That crash is cleared, so if you heard me talking about it and you're heading up that way, it's all gone. You will see some slowing as you make your way through the tunnel and transition to the North 5. That's kind of typical at this point. Overall, though, not that bad. R5 still a little slow. Now, this is the Santa Ana portion, so out of Norwalk, just before Imperial Highway, expect some slowing up to Washington Boulevard. And then after that, Larry, that drive looks good. And southbound, it's okay, except we do have some Caltrans work south 5. Before you get to the 60, East LA interchange, that'll be over to the left side.
All right, Brian, thanks. For LAPD's next chief of police is LA County Sheriff Jim McDonald, but as Craig Figner reports, it'll be at least a couple of weeks before he can take the oath. put on a badge.
He spent 4 years as L.A. County Sheriff. Jim McDonnell is a name well known here at Los Angeles City Hall. But to become LAPD's next chief of police, the next step for McDonnell will be to appear before L.A.'s Public Safety Committee. They meet every other Tuesday. So 2 weeks from now, it's likely he could be here at City Hall. And the chair of that committee is Councilmember Monica Rodriguez, who says she's reserving her opinion on whether or not McDonnell will get her support. Just because the mayor has selected a chief, he's not chief yet.
No, there's still a process where the council needs to vet and approve the recommendations.
Why is that process important?
Well, I mean, it's important for the council to consider all of the appointments. We are equally leaders for the city, whether it's police chief, whether it's a general manager, or a public works department. All the nominations come and are confirmed by the Los Angeles City Council.
The Public Safety Committee will almost certainly quiz McDonnell when it comes to his philosophy on law enforcement. If they like him, they send his name to the council, the 15-member council. It takes 8 votes for a mayor's pick for chief of police for that person to actually get the job leading the Los Angeles Police Department. At LA City Hall, I'm Craig Figner, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Irvine-based Fitness International, also doing business as LA Fitness, being sued by the Justice Department. Lawsuit alleges the company discriminated against people with disabilities at its gym and fitness clubs and is in violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act. The ADA requires the club to give people with disabilities equal access to service and facilities, remove architectural barriers to make its facilities accessible to people with disabilities, and also maintain accessible features. The lawsuit looks to have LA Fitness correct any of its discriminatory actions and equal people with disabilities. The lawsuit also seeks monetary damages for people that were harmed by LA Fitness's alleged discrimination. Police are asking for help to find the driver who hit and killed a pedestrian in South LA. The victim, 62-year-old woman.
The 24-month road purchase eligible trade-in info 5G next. Well qualified customers with tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire sale before receiving 24 bill credits and credits. Stop and balance on required finance agreement. Take bill credits end if you pay off the price early. See how you can save versus the other big guys. It's T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Mike Simpson here for Advanced Hair, and for everyone who's already been there and wants to tell you no more sitting on the fence. Go and fix your hair loss. You've heard the guys before. Here's another one.
The results that I got with Advanced Hair blew my expectations out of the water. I didn't realize they'd be able to patch in everything.
The offer right now, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts when you use my name, Mike at AdvancedHair.com. That's your promo code, Mike at AdvancedHair.com. One-day treatment, life-changing results, guaranteed to grow. Go and schedule that consultation, AdvancedHair.com.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
97.1 FM, an LA firefighter recovering from his injuries following a nasty fall, and a community up in the Antelope Valley is upset that a sexual predator is coming to their area soon. Those stories on the way. First, though, a look at your drive. This brought to you by Attorney Joseph S. Normand. Here's Brian Douglas.
If you're heading in and around downtown, that's probably the slowest drives we got going. 101 from Santa Monica Boulevard into downtown slow. 110 slow from the 5 into downtown. After that, it's good as you pass the 10 northbounds. It's okay. A couple brake lights here and there as you make your way on that North 110 off the 105 freeway. We've got a lot of slowing now. If you take La Cienega, which a lot of you do, I do as well, off the 405 northbound, you've got slowing from Slauson, just from the overpass there, all the way up to Stalker. Sometimes it really slows things up. Looks like that's what it's doing. Oh, sometimes that light does kind of misfire, and I don't know what's going on, but you've got that slowing. Once you pass that northbound, you're fine. Southbound still looks okay. Even between Jefferson and Obama, in front of See's Candy and Target there, that drive actually looks pretty good. Have this issue on the 91. We had some road work and also had a stall. 91 East just past Brookhurst. We're in the city of Anaheim, and that is why you are slow all the way back to Beach Boulevard. And then you're in the clear past Brookhurst, a little bit past Brookhurst, and then you get to Anaheim Hills. We'll see a little slow as you come up to the 241. We also have some road work happening on the southbound side of the 71. I know if you're in this backup, it is tough even before you get to Butterfield Ranch. That's South 71 all the way down to the 91. It crawls. It looks like only one lane the closer to the 91 you get. And then, of course, you're down to one lane anyway for that transition road. I'll keep an eye on that. All of a sudden, that became really bad. I don't have anything reported but road work. Maybe up there as well. South 71 near the 91. Feeling overwhelmed? We're not alone. Call Attorney Joseph. That's going on today. Don't face your legal battle alone. Call Attorney Joseph S. Normand, 213-747-2000, 213-747-2000, or NormandLegal.com. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5s from the Simpson Automotive Group 24-hour traffic center.
We are running two parallel weather paths where we're talking about a cool down for the majority of Southern California, but you never warmed up anywhere near the beach, so you don't have anything to cool down. You're just going to stay cool because you have been cool for the past week and a half. Inland temperatures are out of the 100s. Instead, today they will be in the mid to upper 90s. Now, that's still hot for this time of year, but it's not nearly as hot as we have been for the past couple days. So 5 to 6 degrees of cooling today, with more cooling by a degree or two tomorrow, another couple degrees coming up on Thursday. By the weekend, we're down to the 80s inland and down to the 70s in the metro area. Staying chilly. With your next weather forecast, I'm KCAL meteorologist Paul Deanna for KNX News 97.1 FM. A LA City firefighter was injured after falling through the floor of an abandoned apartment building after it caught fire. The fire broke out around 2 this morning in the 7700 block of Hollywood Boulevard. The fire officials say the building had already been damaged in previous fires. The firefighter here was looking for any victims inside the building during an initial search. When he fell through that floor, no people were found. Firefighter who was hurt expected to be okay, and arson investigators are checking this out, but so far no word on the cause of the fire. Several USC students reported that a man broke into their house in University Park just after midnight. The women told police they saw him looking through a window before he broke in. One of the victims tells KTLA that he had been to their home at least 5 times before. Students say the man tried to open a window, then went through a side door into the kitchen. LAPD is searching for a suspect who was described as a 30-year-old wearer. They have not confirmed whether he's homeless or identified. But campus police did say that the homeless situation around the university has gotten worse. We have contacted USC for more information and are waiting to hear back. With the KNX News LA Times debate between DA George Gascon and challenger Nathan Hochman only a few hours away, there's a new poll in the race for LA County DA, and it's not looking good for Gascon. The UC Berkeley LA Times poll finds 51% of likely voters are backing Hochman, while just 21% support Gascon. 28%, though, of likely voters remain undecided. UC Berkeley poll director Mark DiCamillo tells us why voters are supporting the challenger.
And we also asked Hochman's voters what were some of the important reasons they were supporting him, and they do give a number of things. They'll be more effective in prosecuting cases involving violent crime. 73% said that was extremely important reason for supporting him.
DiCamillo also says a majority of voters have a negative really driving the support for Hochman. KNX News and the LA Times hosting a debate between the two. This evening, they will face off on the issues, including crime, public safety, quality of life, happening today, live 5 o'clock, right here, KNX News and on knxnews.com. A horse has died after it was hurt during training in Santa Anita. The 2-year-old Namansa had only 2 career races in Ireland. The California Horse Racing Board says the initial cause of death was musculoskeletal. Santa Anita's senior vice president and executive producer says the horse was immediately seen by an expert team of on-site veterinarians on Sunday morning. After assessing the injury, that team recommended humane euthanasia. As a matter of protocol, the horse will undergo a necropsy and be overseen by the School of Veterinary Medicine. Findings will be reported to the California Horse Racing Board. This is the 11th horse to die from a racing or training injury at Santa Anita this year, and state horse racing officials also confirming another horse after training injury at Los Alamitos. This, the 3rd racehorse death in the last week at the track in Cypress. 3-year-old Wind Me Up, trained by Bob Baffert, died Friday. Cause of death listed as, again, musculoskeletal. The 2 other horses died from racing injuries Saturday night, including Perky Cowgirl, who collapsed to the ground shortly after breaking from the gate in Saturday's 2nd race, requiring euthanasia. Officials also say 2-year-old Midnight Huckabee immediately died from injuries after he fell during a race the same night. California Horse Racing Board says 13 horses have died from racing or training injuries at the Los Al track this year. The Cypress track also dealing with an outbreak of equine infectious anemia, or EIA. That is a potentially fatal infectious disease. 7 horses there have died from it since September 24th. Check your money now. Here's Bloomberg's Nancy Lyons.
We saw the markets rebound today, led by tech stocks. The Nasdaq was up 259 or 1.4%. Close to 1%. The Dow gained 126, 3%. We aren't eating as many snacks these days. PepsiCo is trimming its revenue outlook for the year, saying higher prices have caused consumers to either rein in their spending on snacks or shift to cheaper store brand options. A big recall of its Quaker Oats granola bars and cereals also didn't help. PepsiCo shares today were up close to 2%. If you've been eating too many snacks, there's yet another option helping you lose weight. WW, also known as Weight Watchers, says it will soon begin offering a copycat version of weight loss drugs that will cost far less than Wegovy and Ozempic. That move had been opposed by the CEO who just left the company. Shares today of WW are up close to 47%. I'm Bloomberg's Nancy Lyons from the Just One Touch Money Desk on KNX News 97.1 FM.
It's the gold standard for original reporting.
60 Minutes investigation at the Pentagon.
Reporting that matters to you.
One of the scams that are costing citizens $10 billion a year.
Here's 60 Minutes, Sunday evenings at 7 on KNX News 97.1 FM. Presented by Deluxe Life Coach. Premium exterior paint for your home.
Replacing your teeth with a dental implant's GPS Smile is about more than just teeth.
I get emotional. I started losing my teeth. I'm too young for that. I'm very thankful because this really changes a person's life.
Teeth is what we do, but at the end of the day, that's not really what it's about. It's about patient's confidence.
DentalImplantsGPS.com provides people with missing teeth, failing teeth, or unstable dentures full
towards patients is one of guidance. Guide patients along this journey, future their newfound confidence.
Don't wait. Call Dental Implants and get your free educational book with important dental implant information. Call 800-863-9300. That's 800-863-9300.
If you expect more, you'll get more. This fall at the Simpson family of dealerships.
A man from Corona has been sentenced to 6 years in federal prison for preparing and filing false tax returns for his clients. The Justice Department says Salvador Gonzalez pleaded guilty in June to operating a decade-long scheme, causing a tax loss to the IRS of at least $28 million. He was also ordered to pay more than $400,000 in restitution. Gonzalez ran Grace's Lighthouse Resource Center, a Corona-based tax return prep business. He was said to have had filed thousands of returns prepared for clients under sham corporations for which he took a prep fee and 1% of his clients' gross earnings. The IRS says that to avoid clients like this, it has tipped people who do tax prep and how to avoid scams and fraud. 125. Traffic every 10 minutes on the 5s. This report brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group Accident and Injury Attorneys. Here's Brian.
Had a car fire right next to an industrial building here in Commerce, so Garfield was shut down. Not quite sure if it is still shut down. Just past Telegraph, so just north of the 5 freeway. I do see a lot of slowing, that thick black smoke. North 5 from Rosecrans, it's heavy. All the way up to the outlet. Southbound is going to be slow as well, on and off as you make your way by Garfield. I'm sure that smoke a couple minutes ago may have caught. And west, right at the 57. CHP says that could last about 10 minutes. I'm surprised it hasn't wrapped up yet, because it's already been about 10 minutes. So that's what's going on the 10 west as you leave Pomona. You're backed up starting at Dudley. It's really, really tough there. Then, again, once you pass 57, when everyone gets going, things will improve. If you're on the 210 going eastbound, this is just past Vernon. Looks like we had some metal debris in lanes. That could still be there, so watch out. You don't want to hit that. I see you a little bit slow. Southbound side of the 101, this is going to be the Hollywood Freeway from Western on down. You've got some slowing there. Reports some smoke right around Highland. So from that South 101, just past your Highland exit. So as you're coming up to the Hollywood Bowl, watch out, because you've got some slowing there to deal with. Last time around, we talked about La Cienega, really slow up to Stalker. That's because we have somebody stalled in the middle lanes, not the light. That's why you're heavy from Slauson. If you've had an injury accident, slip, fall, been victimized by insult, the injury help you need is just a text away. Text injury help to 40222. Downtown LA Law, 23 Law Firm, injury help to 40222, or Google, call downtown.com for that free case review. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5s from the Simpson Automotive Group 24-hour traffic center.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I get those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real. And I have paperwork to prove they got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-966-3144. That's 800-934. 800-966-3144.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you when your spouse is bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Autumn is in the air, and like like the leaves, prices are falling at Harbor Freight's parking lot sale this weekend. We've got tons of products on sale, like 3-ton jacks for under $100, 5,000-watt generators, $250 off, plus dual bevel miter saws at nearly half the price of the competition. Whatever you do for life, Harbor Freight. Valid until 10/13/24. All supplies last, so hurry and limitations apply.
Right now, it's the best time to get laser eye surgery. That's because Laser Eye Center, the most trusted leader in LASIK, 4D technology, are having a limited time special so you can improve your vision and save money. Within the next 30 minutes, Laser Eye Center is setting up free consultations for a limited number of LASIK procedures at 50% off and just $59 per month per eye with 0 down and 0 interest financing. Get rid of your irritating contacts and glasses. Start at only $59 per month per eye with 0 down and 0 interest. For the next 30 minutes, Laser Eye Center is setting up free consultations for LASIK, cataracts, and dry 50% off, 0 interest financing, and your free consultation. Call now, 888-739. Once more, 888-733-3939.
From the Dallas LA Law Group Injury Help Studios.
This is Southern California's news.
KNX News, 97.1 FM.
At 1:30, I'm Larry Farrell in for Rob Archer. Good afternoon. Well, this protest, a judge has ruled the so-called pillowcase rapist, a sexually violent predator, will be released to Juniper Hills in the Antelope Valley. Our Emily Valdez got reaction.
Christopher Hubbard was convicted of raping 40 women from the 70s to the 90s in both Southern and Northern California, breaking into their homes and putting a pillowcase over their faces while he raped them. So how did the new neighbors feel?
Gut punch. Gut punch is the best part.
Mary Jeters was at the court hearing, hoping the judge would put Hubbard somewhere else.
We've already got 2 other SVPs here, but unfortunately the judge felt that was not a consideration in the place.
Silent predator, or SVP, differs from the average sex offender.
They are the only most dangerous of the most dangerous. They've been deemed by a panel of doctors in California to be mentally disordered with a high likelihood of reoffending. And that's a quote. And I can't fathom why they would be releasing them at all.
Sheriff Luna, the DA, and County Supervisor Catherine Barger all opposed Hubbard's release to that area. I'm Emily Valdez, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
1 inmate is dead, 6 others hurt after an overdose incident at the men's central jail in downtown L.A. L.A. Fire Department spokesperson Margaret Stewart said several people taken to the hospital.
We had a total of 7 patients ranging in age from 18 to 35. There was one patient, approximately 35-year-old male. He was found health and determined dead on scene.
And she said it's not known what they could have possibly ingested.
In terms of was ingested, that would be a medical examiner question.
Stewart says the 6 people taken to the hospital were walking and talking when firefighters got to jail. A former safety officer at Long Beach Unified School District, Eddie Gonzalez, has been sentenced to 3 years in prison for shooting into a moving car and killing an 18-year-old woman. The incident happened near Millikan High School in 2021. Gonzalez pleaded no contest to voluntary manslaughter after a jury could not agree on a murder charge. Says he acted in self-defense, fearing he would be run over, but prosecutors argued he overreacted and escalated the situation. The woman was shot while sitting in the passenger seat of the car, and her family later settled a lawsuit against the school district for $13 million. Riverside County has gone after people accused of doing unlicensed contracting work. 12 people busted in the Menifee area during an undercover 2-day sting.
Under California law, it is illegal for unlicensed contractors to bid or work on more than $500, including labor and materials. Penalties for these violations include administrative fines of up to $15,000, jail sentences of up to 6 months.
What the county DA's office says, 6 of the people busted asked for down payments higher than the legal limit of $1,000 or 10% of the total project cost. People can visit the Contractor State Licensing Board to check if a contractor is licensed. People in Tampa, Florida, bracing for the worst ahead of Hurricane Milton. CBS News correspondent Allison Keyes reports.
Tampa Mayor Jane Castro warns her community will be impacted by Hurricane Milton in a major way.
There's a possibility of bringing close to twice the amount in storm surge
hurricane force category 3 or 4 winds.
This man waiting in a long line for gas lives about 20 miles south of town.
Where I'm at right now, I don't think I need the exact rate.
Allison Key
It has weakened, but it is still a powerful Category 4 storm. Power outage on 2S reports more than 100,000 customers in North Carolina still did not have electricity as of this morning. That's impacting one of the state's most popular tourist sites. Jim Priscilla with that story.
Asheville's famed Biltmore Estate, which attracts people from around the world, is closed indefinitely. The Biltmore House, which is the largest privately owned property in the country, along with its conservatory, winery, gardens, and hotels, escaped significant damage in last weekend's epic flooding. There was extensive damage to the Biltmore main entrance.
Voters in western North Carolina impacted by hurricane-related devastation may see several changes to how they can cast their ballots in the coming weeks after the state's election board approved an emergency resolution that modifies voting rules. Coming up at 1:35, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. This report, the Toyota of Glendora. No, I'm sorry. Coming from the Simpson Automotive Traffic Center. Got to get that right.
Yeah,
right.
that's my cue to talk. All right, here we go. If you're on that westbound side of the 10, all lanes now open. CHP held you at 57 for some potholes to be filled. They did the same thing about 2 hours earlier than this stretch of 10, notorious for potholes. But westbound's open. You do have some slowing starting at White Avenue. West 10 again. After that, you're fine. So I'm seeing some improvement on your 71 southbound side. Still heavy before Euclid, Butterfield Branch. Then about a mile past it, speeds improved, and you're looking good. Might have had, well, I know we have road work there. You've got the new interchange being built. But we may have had something specifically on that South 71. Whatever it is, looks like it's gone. You're moving now. 91, it's sluggish between Imperial and the 241. Should I say plain slow? That's just due to a whole lot of volume of folks trying to get home to work, wherever you're going. And if you're on the 10 now, this is downtown. 10 east of right? Somebody's broken down here. So your 10 now eastbound starting to get slow. Gets really slow as you pass Boulevard. Larry, 710 north, right lane taken away, and far right lane, that is, and you're on the off ramps at Florence on South Express. Or 710 jam from Rose Ranch.
All right, Brian, sounds good. Thanks.
Campaign 2024
on KNX News 97.1 FM.
Well, Donald Trump's running mate has something to say about Vice President Kamala Harris's appearance on a talk show today. It was her first talk show and first live interview since becoming the nominee. Here's Matt Piper.
I do the job sometimes that you folks don't want to. I actually watched Kamala Harris's interview on The View.
GOP Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance in Detroit.
And you would think that would be an interview, and you know what they asked her? They gave her a softball, an easy question. Really propaganda. They said, can you name a single thing where you did Joe Biden?
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years? There is not a thing that comes to mind.
She later said on the ABC show, one difference would be that she'd have a Republican in her cabinet. Matt Piper, CBS News.
A new book by Bob Woodward says Donald Trump secretly talked to Russian President Putin up to 7 times after he left office. Russian expert Beth Noble says such contact, if true, would be deeply disturbing, especially after Russia invaded Ukraine.
A humongous breach of protocol for any former American leader to do that at a time of an active war.
In his book called War, due out in mid-October, Woodward says Trump asked an unnamed aide to leave his office in early 2024 so the former president could talk to Putin on the phone. Aide says the two might have talked as many as 6 other times, a claim denied by Trump's campaign. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu addressed on today, blaming Hezbollah and Iran for being behind the violence that Israel is trying to stamp out.
We've degraded Hezbollah's capabilities. We took out thousands of terrorists, including Nasrallah himself, and Nasrallah's replacement, and the replacement of his replacement. Today, Hezbollah is weaker than it's been for many, many years.
The Israeli Defense Force still has not confirmed the death of the successor to Hezbollah's leader. Israel's defense minister says he probably has been eliminated. Supreme Court heard arguments this morning on so-called ghost guns and whether they would be covered by federal rules and regulators. Lori Levinson is a Loyola Law School professor and former federal prosecutor.
This case doesn't actually raise a Second Amendment argument about the right to have a firearm. Rather, the focus is on what the language of the statute and regulation means, and whether firearms would cover things like ghost guns. But it does sound like, at least in the they can be done so very quickly and therefore should be subject to a 2022 law that clarified those guns too are considered firearms.
These guns don't have serial numbers and their owners make them using parts that are difficult to track. Federal regulators continue to fight wrongful car repossessions, inaccurate loan disclosures, and the reporting of incorrect information to credit bureaus.
Examiners at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau say they're still seeing lenders repossess cars even after the borrower has made payments on time or has gotten a loan extension. They're also finding that lenders are giving inaccurate disclosures, misapplying loan payments, and submitting incorrect information about consumers to credit bureaus. The CFPB has ordered vehicles promptly returned to customers if they've been wrongly repossessed and told the lenders to stop reporting incorrect credit information. Christopher Prue, Washington.
The combination of inflation and high borrowing rates is dampening small business owner optimism. CBS News business reporter Jason Brooks has more.
The National Federation of Independent Business Small Business Optimism Index eked out a small gain in September, but the Uncertainty Index spiked to its highest reading in the history of the survey. Business owners say they're pulling back on capital spending and inventory plans because of high costs from inflation and interest rates. The average rate paid on small business loans topping 10% last month, the highest rate since February 2001. Capital spending plans have fallen to the lowest level in more than 2 years.
32% of small business owners reported raising compensation the lowest level since July of 2022. It's 141.
Organized labor was always considered a sure thing for the Democratic Party. That is, until Donald Trump. I'm Charles Feldman. Join Margaret for Countdown 2024. Today at 2:30 on KNX News 97.1 FM.
Don't let a clogged drain ruin your day.
Oh no!
It's time for Gettle Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Our $80 drain clearing service diagnoses and clears clogs fast. That's GOETTL. Visit Gettle.com today. Contractor license 1047781.
Imagine your sensor recognizes your vehicle, lights your home's exterior, opens your garage door, and cues a welcome scene of lights, climate, music, even video. Or depending on the time of day and weather, your shades drop, your climate control system goes into eco mode, and all you did was to receive a text that this was complete. It's here now. Connected living, thanks to just one touch. Your total solution for smart home and office. TV installation anywhere, music everywhere, home theater design, security cameras, climate and lighting control systems, and much, much more. Control everything in your home or office or many. Exclusively at Video and Audio Center.
Hi, I'm Joseph, owner of Just One Touch. We design your video systems for your home. We do it for your office. We can design and build your state-of-the-art home automation or home theater.
Just One Touch does it all. Inside every Video Audio Center store. On the internet, JustOneTouch.com.
Call our hotline 310-899-2929 or JustOneTouch.com.
Mom, read Sarah.
From first-time meta moments. And welcome to Flight 101. To any girl trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or diabetes, you're at higher risk of being hospitalized from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at VaxAssist.com.
Where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer. This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes and homes for our troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family, his wife and son. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatment and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Hey, Trojan fans, the battle for dominance is on, and you can catch every heart-pounding moment of USC football, live, anywhere, anytime. Stream every game, every play, live on the free Odyssey app. Just download the app, search USC, and never miss a second of the action as the Trojans take on the Big Ten. It's USC football. It's Big Ten glory. Don't miss out. Just download the free Odyssey app now. That's AUDACY.
$250 off 250 free hair grafts at advancedhair.com. The promo code is Mike.
It is 1:45 and up ahead on KNX News 97.1 FM. Vice President Harris doing the interview rounds now. We'll go in depth into whether this will help or hurt her. And drugs send firefighters rushing to the jail in downtown LA. These stories on the way in the next 15 minutes. But first, more traffic every 10 minutes on the 5s. This report brought to you by the Ronald Reagan Library presenting the Pope and the President. Here's Brian Rivers.
705 northbound before Atlantic, Eastern, right in front of the outlet's got a sweeper in the right lane. Metro Dave on his way to work said it's there, and it's slowing the drive, and it is 5 north from Rosecrans. It's going to be a little slow. Telegraph, you know, we always like to give that as an alternate to the 5. It's okay, but northbound side, here's the deal. If you're going to take Telegraph, northbound right around Garfield, that's where things get heavy. It looks like Garfield's still shut down. We had a car catch fire, some sort of vehicle, maybe even a truck, not quite sure what it was. I'm looking at a burn. So the fire department, of course, taking care of that fire. So it's like the building is going to be fine. But Garfield looks like it's still shut down north of Telegraph. So you might probably be better off sticking with the 5. North 710 right lane taken away on and off ramps to Florence. Again on that North 710 gone due to some Caltrans work here. And that North 710 really tough off the 105. I'd like, you know, Garfield, which turns to Eastern. Well, Eastern begins at Garfield, just north of Firestone. That looks pretty good if you want to use that as an alternate instead of that 710. We call that our downtown LA Law Group. Accident and injury attorneys, route you can trust. 110 South, looks like we may have had something working right around Vernon. So all of a sudden it's really slow coming out of downtown to Vernon. Once you pass Vernon, speeds improve. And also, thank you, Jim and Jay let me know that East 91 is so slow because it looks like Caltrans has the right lane blocked at the 241 to do some guardrail repair there. That main line with 91 really tough back to Imperial. The powerful friendship between St. John Paul II and President Ronald Reagan. Few rare artifacts and even an authentic Pope mobile. The Pope and the President bringing hope to the world. Closes on the 27th. Tickets at ReaganFoundation.org/poll. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5 from the Simpson Automotive Group 24-hour traffic center.
We are sunny for the rest of this afternoon. A bit cooler as well. 70s and 80s for the beaches and LA and OC metros. Mid-90s for the San Fernando Valley. Has some low clouds and fog back tonight. Lows in the 60s. Well, Vice President Kamala Harris is on a media blitz this week as she tries to reach voters. And yesterday, it was 60 minutes. Today, The View, The Howard Stern Show, and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Our Mike Simpson and Vicki Moore talked with the Hills campaign reporter Brett Samuels and asked him if the media tour is an effective strategy to win the election.
Yeah, certainly. I think what we're seeing is a very intentional effort from the Harris campaign in particular to, as you to eschew sort of traditional media, 60 Minutes obviously notwithstanding with that interview last night. The Vice President, she hasn't really gone and done press conferences. She hasn't done a lot of traditional, print interviews, broadcast interviews with her exceptions. Instead, what she's been doing is she's been going on podcasts. She's going to Howard Stern, as you guys mentioned, The View, Stephen Colbert. She'll be doing a Univision town hall And really, this is an effort to, I think, kind of meet voters where they are. She went on the Call Her Daddy podcast, which is very popular with young women. So, you know, she's sort of seeking out maybe less traditional media outlets in an effort to sort of meet voters where they are at Election Day.
Do they expect it's actually going to help with undecideds, or at this point is it really just about turnout? If we don't really get anything new, you know, like policy-wise, maybe personality points, but which of those two are they trying for both?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, but certainly, you know, a lot has been made of this idea that there's really not a huge number of that a lot of people know how they feel certainly about Donald Trump at this point, whether they're going to support him with Vice President Harris. It's a little bit different. Obviously, she became the candidate only a few months before Election Day, so, you know, I think it's a combination of trying to get her